Yes, the AFL 2023 season is so close. So let's get in the swing of things by predicting who will finish where in the league table. Come on, you Swans. First of all, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. When the AFL season starts properly, there'll be loads of live watch-alongs and reaction videos to go to boot. So, let's get started. So as you can see, we've got from 1st to 18th. We're going to do an alphabetical order. Let's give a little rundown of each team on how I think they are going to do. Up first is Adelaide Crows. Now, Adelaide Crows are sort of a mid-table team. They're okay, may provide a few shocking results. They've done okay. 4 players gone, 1 out, 1 in with trades. But I can only say that they are at sort of a mid-table. I think they will be close to the top 8, but they're not going to quite make it. So Adelaide Crows, I'm going to be nice, and I'll put them 9th to 10th in one of those 2 spots. But they could finish lower. That would be my only saying there. Brisbane are a quality team. I didn't think they would do as well as they did this year, to be honest. But they are a top 4 team. I think they're a top 4 team. If you look at what they've done, they've got 3 delistings, 1 retired, 2 trades in, and 2 out, 1 being a free agent. So they've had a lot of work there going on in the background in the off-season. But I think they're a strong team that I think will be top 4. And I think I'm going to put them 4th. I'm not going to push them any higher. I think they're a strong, consistent team. 4th is a good spot for them, I think. Now, Carlton, just missing out on that last day of the season, didn't they? Let's have a look how they've done. So they've had a lot of players out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players delisted, 2 players out, 1 as a free, 1 as a trade, and 1 player, Blake Acres, in from Fremantle in the trade. Do you know what? I am going to give them the chance here. Please don't let me down, Carlton. I'm going to put them as sneaking into 8th spot. Carlton are one of those teams that I've said this last season. They are a bit of a dull team. They're not exciting. They don't have players that really stand out anymore. They haven't got those individuals that you can think of. Melbourne, they've got Gawn. Swans, they've got a load of players that you can name, Heaney, Buddy, etc. I don't think Carlton have any players that really stand out, but they are an average, consistent team. And as I said, they were unfortunate to just mess up at the end of the season. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I'll put them in 8th. Now, Collingwood, ABC. Anyone but Collingwood. However, they have, I think, strengthened. They did well. They got into the top 8 last season, and they were strong. You know, they pushed the Sydney Swans in that prelim final game right to the wire. If you haven't seen, go check out the vlog. I was in joyous to despair to euphoria in that game. They are a good team. If you look at what they've done this season, in the off-season, 1 retired. They've got 7 delistings, 2 out via trades, but they have brought in 4 players: Bobby Hill, Daniel McStay, Billy Frampton, and Tom Mitchell. So they have bolstered what they've lost. I am going to push them here. It's a tough one because I don't want them to do well because they're Collingwood, as most people don't. But I'm going to actually push them into 3rd. There you go. It's a bold one. But I'm going to put them into 3rd this season because I do think they're a strong team. And if they've improved from last year, then they will deserve that top 3 spot. Now, Essendon, oh God, they're awful, aren't they? They've had 3 retired. Wow. Tipper Woody is retired. Oh my God, I've literally just seen that myself. Great player, but he's retired. Wow. So 3 retired, 6 delisted, 1 out to Sydney, Aaron Francis. Hopefully that'll be good for Sydney. But 2 in. Will Setterfield and Sam Weideman. Or Wiedemann? Anyway. But they're Essendon. They're Essendon. This might sound harsh, and I may have to change this about a bit later on. But I'm going to go 11th to 12th for Essendon because they let a lot of players go and not really bolstered the squad. I don't think they were great last year anyway. They pulled out a few shocking results against Sydney. But I just don't think they're going to be good enough, if I'm honest. So 11th and 12th, and that's possibly being kind. Now, here is one Fremantle Dockers that I think actually they did really well. They performed really well. They got really unlucky in the end. The team didn't turn up as strong as they could. Let's have a look. So 1 retired, 3 delisted. They've got 5 out. That's a lot of players gone out, but they have brought in 3 trades in. So Josh Corbett, Luke Jackson, Jaeger O'Meara, possibly. I think that's how you pronounce it. Jaeger. Looks like Jägermeister. So actually, it does look like from what they've got rid of, they have brought in. If they can improve on what they did last year, then I'm going to make a bold statement. It's going to be a bold statement as well. I'm going to be full of these. Fremantle Dockers, 2nd position. I honestly think if they can improve. This is the thing. It depends how teams are going to do. If they improve on the previous season, 2022, then great. And I'm going to have some predictions where teams may do worse. So we'll see how that works. Geelong. Sorry, just memories of the grand final. Me sitting there, very, very upset. Geelong. Now, the only thing with Geelong is, look, they've got 3 retired. Joel Selwood, what a miss that's going to be. They've got 5 delisted. They've got 1 out, Cooper Stevens to Hawthorn. But they are bringing in 3. That's a plus. They are bringing in 3. But they're an older team. Yes, they are an older team. They are a great team. But I think missing players like Joel Selwood is going to be tough for them. So I'm going to put them in 5th. I just think it's going to be a bit of a slide from winning. Some may say actually they may be a team that can do a back-to-back Premiership win. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I think their season was last year and they did well for that. Gold Coast. What they've got no retires. They've got 4 delisted, 3 out, and 2 in. Bear in mind, Ben Long from St Kilda, and Tom Berry from Brisbane. I think they'll be close, but I don't think they'll be close enough. It's a tough one, but I don't think they're going to make it. I'm going to put them in 11th and 12th. They could finish in that 9th and 10th spot, but I think 11th and 12th. I don't think they're strong enough. I personally don't think they're strong enough. GWS Giants, Greater Western Sydney. 1 retired, 3 delisted, 4 out, and 1 in. Toby Bedford in from Melbourne. Now that is a bit of a depletion from the team. So are they really going to improve? I don't think so. And I think they've got to be in the bottom 4. And it's seeing who else is worse than them. Now, I know 2 teams that are worse than them. So I'm going to put GWS 15th to 16th because they are not a very good team. And with players going out, that's not great, is it? That's not great. It doesn't look like they've bolstered their squad enough to really push up the table. So I think they'll be bottom 4 team, unfortunately. Next up, Hawthorn. Now, Hawthorn, yeah, a lot of players out again. 2 retired, 6 delisted, 3 out on trades, 2 in on trades, and 1 free agent. But I just don't think... Look, if you look at the players that have come in from Port Adelaide, there is not exactly world beaters, are they? Cooper Stevens from Geelong. Yes, but there's probably a reason why Geelong are allowing him to leave. And then Lloyd Meek from Hawthorn. That doesn't make any sense. How can someone come in from Hawthorn to Hawthorn? Doesn't make sense. You can explain that in the comments. Once again, they're a team that could provide some shocking results, but they probably won't. I'm just thinking who I've got left and where they're going to go. Okay, I'm going to put Hawks 15th to 16th. I really don't think they're going to break the bottom 4. I don't think they're going to get out of there, but there are obviously two teams that are worse. So they will struggle, I think. It's all a guess, isn't it? Let's be honest. But I do think they will struggle. Melbourne. Now, Melbourne are a team over the previous years that have been consistently strong and consistent. You know, they've got the best ruckman in the league in Gawn. And by having a player like that, you're always going to be a challenge. And yes, it's one player, but oh my God, what a player. I wish Swans had him. I really wish Swans had him. That would honestly make our team. Looking what they've got. 2 retired, 2 delisted. They've got 4 players out, and they have gone out to teams like West Coast, GWS and Essendon. So I don't think that's a major problem. I don't think they have weakened their squad by letting them go. And what they've done is they've brought in 3 players, Brodie Grundy from Collingwood, and then a couple from Western Bulldogs. So hopefully they've snatched good players from the Bulldogs. But because of how I've set it up and how I think other teams are going to perform, Melbourne will easily get into the top 8 for sure. And no doubt Melbourne will be in the top 8. I'm going to put them in 6th, but that's partly because of the movement of the other teams. Now, Melbourne could clearly finish top. They could finish anywhere in that top 8, anywhere in the top 4. And I think I'm being a little bit pessimistic on Melbourne, but that's just simply because of how, optimistic I'm being with the Dockers, Collingwood, for example. So I'm going to put them into 6th place. Now, on to one of the worst teams in the league. Now, I feel bad, right? Let's see who they got. Tom Lynch retired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 players delisted from a team that aren't exactly great in the first place. 1 out, Jason Horne-Francis to Port. But they have brought in Griffin Logue and Darcy Tucker from Fremantle, which, with how Fremantle have played, hopefully that will boost them. But they are not getting out of the bottom 2. Top 2, that's optimistic. They're not getting out of the bottom 2. No chance at all. And I feel bad for them because they're clearly a nice team. Do you know what I mean? They're clearly a team that people would be happy for them to do well. There's no real hard feelings against North Melbourne, but they are rubbish. So if you're a North Melbourne fan, I'm so sorry. They'll try. That's the main thing. They will try. Now, Port Adelaide Power. I really want to sing a bit of In Excess, but I won't. Now, Port are difficult, right? They are a team that can be good or can be rubbish. You really don't know what team's going to turn up. They are plucky. They work their backsides off. Let's have a look. 2 out. 2 retired, 4 5 delisted. They've got 1 out as a free agent, and then they've brought in Jason Horne-Francis and Junior Rioli. So they have brought a Rioli in. The only interesting thing is, have they basically taken 2 good players from 2 rubbish teams? I would hope that's the case. But once again, I don't think they're going to make the top 8. I think this is fair. At least this should make both Adelaide teams fans slightly okay with this. But I'm going to put Port and Adelaide 9th and 10th. Fight it out between yourselves. I like Port, a nice team. Both play at an amazing ground. That's all I got for you. But it is a tough one to predict. Richmond. Once again, this is a tricky thing. Another team that is the great unknown, right? How are they going to do? They've got 3 retired, 5 players delisted, no trades out, so no one wanted their players, and they've got 2 players traded in, both from the Giants. This is a tough one. I really don't know. And looking at the spaces I've got, it's a really difficult one. Looking at the positions I've got, I'm going to put them in 13th to 14th. That may be an injustice to them. But who knows? They could be, when they play their best football, they could be a top 4 side. But they're not a top 4 side. It's relying on them playing their best and teams not necessarily matching them. I'm going to put them in 13th, 14th. That may be a little bit harsh. You decide. Tell me in the comments. That's fine. Oh, make sure you like and subscribe, obviously. St Kilda. Now, they're I suppose they're improving. They finished 10th last season. I'm making a change. Essendon are going down 1. Essendon are going 13th to 14th. That's out of the blue. Let's look at St Kilda. They are getting better, but they are a rubbish team that probably will never win anything ever again. Sorry. 4 retired, 2 delisted, 1 in and 1 out. Cordy from Western Bulldogs is who they've brought in. So they've not really done massive things to improve. They finished 10th last year. They've not really done anything to improve. I'll put them in the 10th, 12th spot that I had Essendon in. Essendon are rubbish. Sorry. God. So, that is Essendon in there. And St Kilda in there. My team. The mighty Swans. Look, they got to the grand final last year, right? They got to the grand final and we did not turn up. Buddy, his leadership was not there. It was non-existent. However, we have the belief that a young side, some incredible players, the McCartin brothers, Isaac Heaney, if Buddy can actually lead the team, then there shouldn't be any stopping us. We have played such an incredible attacking style of games that we can score goals for fun. But then we've also shown that actually we can defend when we need to. It's managing to hold ourselves under pressure. If we can stop going behind in games, because that was a common theme last year, where we would be down and we're constantly chasing a game, trying to catch up. As long as we can get rid of that, then this is my bold statement. Hang on, let's quickly work out who's gone. 3 retired. That includes Josh Kennedy. 5 delisted. None really that are any good. Aaron Francis has come in from Essendon. He better be a good one. If I'm honest, he better be good. So we finished 3rd in the actual league last season. But here is my prediction: up. First, we can only improve. Please. So Sydney Swans in first place, and then Sydney Swans in the grand final for the 2nd year in a row, hopefully to win it. I would say, normally what happens to a team when they get hammered in the grand final than previous season is they normally go down. But I have faith. My faith may be misplaced, but I have faith. Next up, West Coast. Wow, they are awful. 2 players out, 4 players delisted. Sorry, 2 players retired, 4 players delisted. Junior Riley has gone to Port Adelaide, and then Jaden Hunt has come in as a free agent from Melbourne. There's obviously a reason why he's a free agent from Melbourne. They're awful, right? They're awful. Oh no, I'm going to have to rejig in a minute. Because the 2 I've got... Oh, no, right, no, I'm going to keep this. Okay, West Coast Eagles. See, this is tough when you try and do this. West Coast Eagles are awful. Just like North Melbourne, they are the bottom 2 teams. If they finish higher than that, wow. I won't say I'll eat my hat, just in case. But I cannot see them finishing there. Western Bulldogs. Now, Western Bulldogs, 1 retired, 3 out. They've 3 delisted, 4 out. And they are some good players that they've lost to teams like Melbourne, Brisbane. So that's a tough one. But they've brought in Liam Jones and Rory Lobb. Lobb's a good player from Fremantle, and Jones is from Carlton. They finished 8th last year. It's tough. It is tough. They've got that potential to be top 8, and I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to put Western Bulldogs in 7th spot. That is what I'm going to do. Well, there is the rundown. So Sydney Swans in 1st, Fremantle Dockers in 2nd, Collingwood in 3rd, Brisbane Lions in 4th. Geelong Cats with the slightly aging team in 5th. Can they do it again? Maybe they can. Melbourne Demons, always going to be a top 8 side, in 6th. Bulldogs 7th. Carlton Blues in 8th. And then this is the tough bit, really. Who will try and push to get to the 8th but fail? I'm going to both Adelaide teams, Crows and Port. Suns and St Kilda in 11th and 12th. 13th and 14th, Tigers, Essendon Bombers. 15th, 16th, Giants and Hawks. And then the bottom 2, really with a lot of weight on their shoulders, North Melbourne and West Coast Eagles. That's the prediction. I might be completely wrong, but looking at the players gone in, looking at previous results from last year, and looking at the sort of the team, the cohesion, the age and things, that is my prediction. Well, hope you enjoyed. Please do tell me if you think I'm completely wrong. If you completely agree with me, let me know down in the comments below. And let's hope this AFL 2023 season hurries up and gets on our TV screens and in the stadiums ASAP, because I am already booking my tickets to Australia and Melbourne for the grand final. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you next time.